Peace and love, tribe. Welcome to Identity Utopia. So first, I want to show you guys a few pieces that I was working on and what led me to the final piece that I decided to go with. So first and foremost, I want to say Identity Utopia came from growing up. It was just seeing like people being boxed in and being told what they cannot be, having limitations placed on them and put into boxes, whether that may be based on cultural, religion, socially, economic, race, religion. So I wanted my brand to be a place where, regardless of any of those things, we are all one. We are one tribe, one family, a community. And so what it really comes down to is you can do any and everything that you put your mind to. Just believe in yourself. You know what I mean? And I just want my brand to be a representation to take you guys along this journey with me, and hopefully this could motivate and inspire you, that dream that you've been putting aside, to just get up and just go after what it is you really want. So these are one of the first pieces that I had worked on.
This style was inspired by
Jean Basquiat. He's a famous painter. And then if you look in the sleeve, it says embrace the journey. So what stood out to me most about his work is just that how there was no boundaries. It wasn't like there was one perfect way to do something. It was just him in his raw form, his raw essence. It defied rather than confined to a sort of way of how to express yourself. And I felt like his art was just so free and it just inspired me. So I modeled a lot of my early design in a way of his own artwork. So that was one of the first piece, and then it was this one. Now with these two first designs, I started it with print on demand. So I had reached out to a couple family and friends, and it was kind of convenient because I was away at school. So while I was at school, it made the process easy. I didn't need to have any supply on hand. They would just go straight to the website, and then the print on demand would just print to me and just send it directly to them. So it was a good first start in terms of just figuring out how to sell and just kind of get my foot in the door, just being an entrepreneur. But one thing I realized is that I had made a post of the hoodie. I thought that just me posting or putting my stuff out there, that some way thousands of people would just look into my brand and then just follow me. So what I realized is it's not enough to just say this is my design, and even if it is a dope, cool design, it's just there's thousands of other brands doing the same thing as I am. So what would make somebody want to wear my brand instead of these luxurious brands, House of Ever or Broken Planet? So how does my brand stand out? Why should you put on my brand and not other brands? So it was my why, telling people and sharing my why behind my brand. You see, so it's an intangible feeling. It's more than just a transaction or the hoodie that you put on. My hoodie is a representation of that you are worthy, that you are every in this very moment, not in some distant future. I feel like too many times we feel like we need to know the right people, to have the right equipment before we feel like we could get started. But honestly, it never really works like that. You just figure it out as you go along, and I feel like that's where we get caught up too much in absorbing so much knowledge and watching courses and classes, and it's so much access to information. But dreaming without execution falls in vain. So it was just really sitting back and revamping, and as I grow, my business grows. So my ideology, my outlook on certain things had changed. So with that, so did the direction in which how I wanted to represent or present my brand to the community changed as well too. So after I had graduated, coming back home, I wanted to go a little bit in a different direction. So this is just a heavyweight hoodie, Identity Utopia in the front, with some words in the back.
it says, confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't.
So what really inspired me to make this piece was just for the simple fact that it's like we settle for mediocre. No one tells us to be great, that you can do anything. And it's just so many limitations, and we're just kept down by society that we just can't do certain things. Why is that? Growing up, I was always told that I can do anything I put my mind to. The stars the limit is past the stars. You aim so high that it just becomes borderline delusional. So sometimes you may have an idea, you may share with somebody, and they may not show the same enthusiasm as you did when you presented it to them. But you gotta understand, sometimes when you have big dreams and you talk to small-minded people, that's how it's gonna come off. So every day, a constant reminder as to understanding and relaying to my tribe that it's bigger than just a clothing brand for me, but a community, a place for people who feel left out.